So good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending our brief overview here. Our presentation is titled Using Solutions like Smart Home Systems, Safety Products, and Hearing Amplifiers at Work and Home to Empower Users to be More Independent. I'm Kuratko, and this is Michael, and we work for Bellman and Symfon. We have been in the business of assistive technology, both alerting devices and assistive auditory devices for 35 years. Our company is originally based in Sweden. Our U.S. headquarters is in North Carolina. So I'm not doing a slide presentation today, but instead going to do some hands-on type things, meaning I'm going to show some different ways that we work with the equipment, and then Michael will help me, and he can walk around from table to table and show it to you so you have a better idea. We only have a brief period of time, so you're welcome to come back by our booth then later for further questions. I hope that's more meaningful than a set of slides on the wall. So, when we work with individuals who are coming to us directly, or we work with a lot of voc rehabilitation folks, yes, yay! We also work with a lot of deaf and hard of hearing clients and programs, not to discriminate against anyone, and we work with a number of assisted living facilities and also with seniors very heavily with state and government contracts, and we have a contract with the VA also, actually. So, one of the basis for the way that we work with people to teach some of the counselors and folks on how to work with our devices is to get a real idea of, in our book and on our website, you would see we have a brief overview of a home. And with the home, it goes, is it a small one-bedroom, is it a two-bedroom, and that type of thing. Because all of our alerting systems, whether it's a small one-room office or whether it is a multi-room home, are based on the needs that we need to work with for that individual or for that family. And so what we offer are a number of transmitters that obviously send a signal to a receiver. And so we have a smoke alarm system, we have a CO system, we have a doorbell transmitter. We also have another alerting transmitter that if you already have a doorbell, that you can set up and it hears the sound of the doorbell and then sends a signal to the alerting devices. We have then also a monitor that can be used as a baby cry response monitor, but so it picks up the sound. You can control whether it's a one wah or whether it's 15 seconds of loudness or 20 or 30. But we have also found it to be very useful in working with individuals who may be listening and want a device that will pick up sound of their animals. Some people want to know if their dogs want out. Some people want to know if their dogs are making a sound. And they want to know that something has happened within the house. We also have, it's not on, we took the battery out. Just to show, we also have an alerting system that works with, you put the little light on your telephone, when the telephone comes on, or your iPad or your computer, it will let you know that you have a signal coming into the electronic device. So we have a number of transmitters that can be placed in various places around the house, and we also work with them in business environments. So individuals may want to know when someone walks into their office and is behind them. And so what can happen is you could have a doorbell by you. You could have something that says when your door is opened. We have a clip that says the door is open. And then you would have sitting next to you a flasher that would signal that someone had come into the room, if that makes sense. There's a bright light that flashes. All of our receivers that tell you, that something has happened have 4 different indicators on it. So it will tell you if it is the baby cry, it would tell you if it's the doorbell, it would tell you if it is a telephone, and then it can tell you if it is the alert, like a CO alarm or the smoke alarm. So the lights come on and give you some idea of what is happening within the house. Our systems, a bit because of what people have asked us for, are not tied directly to the internet. So the systems are FM or a Bluetooth type system. They're made for containing within the home, but they don't have to be paired with your wireless system or any of that. There is no monthly charge for it. And when it comes to you or to your clients, it is set up to be automatically compatible. If you have a dorm, we work with Helen Keller quite a bit. We have devices set up in their dorms and in their apartments, and they're next to each other. We do have a way to work with your technician to change frequency, so you could have different responses for each room in the dorm or in a assisted living type facility. So let me just stop 1 second and see if anyone has a question about. Again? Are they smartwatch compatible? So yes and no. And I say that because we have a system coming out in the next 90 days, actually, that has a watch and will tie into the system and alert you. I am wearing, actually, where did it go? The other device I didn't mention as a receiver is a pager that also will light up and tell you when the baby cries, when the door opens, when the CO goes off, or if you get something from a telephone system. But we will also have a watch with that. And we are looking forward to, with these devices, how many of you are familiar with Bluetooth? Everybody in the room? Okay, good. So how many are familiar with the next generation called Auracast? Auracast, A-U-R-A-C-A-S-T. This started probably 2 or 3 years ago in Europe, and it was taken on by the hearing aid manufacturers, and as well as the assistive device world. And it is a type of Bluetooth, but it is a system-wide Bluetooth type of type of signal that can be built into everybody's hearing aids. Right now, and I'll try not to get techie, I'm an audiologist by degree, but Phonak has their own system, Sonova has their own system, Starkey has their own system. Well, this is a universal system that if this venue, for instance, had an Auracast transmitter here in each of these rooms, if you went in and had a cochlear implant, like there's a certain CI with cochlear that has Auracast built into it, you could turn it on. So if you think of using a loop system or telecoil, this would be the next generation of that, and will probably replace telecoils and loop systems over the next, let's just say 5 to 10 years. It won't be immediate. But we are thinking ahead and realize that is what is coming. So in essence, if you had a hearing aid tied into a Auracast system or a implant device tied into an Auracast type system, when you walked into your home and we have these things available, then you would hear the alert through the Auracast in your receiver, in your hearing aid or in your implant, rather than just relying on the different flashers and things within that. We have had also quite a bit of interaction lately with a couple of the states with working with our weather alert systems. I'll just say like NOAA weather alert and all of that, but not just for NOAA weather. There are several systems that also alert for fires in the area. as well as tornadoes and volcanoes and all of that type of stuff. And our systems are compatible, and our alerting devices will tie into those alert systems for you. And we do work with a package that will allow that to happen. If I missed anything on that part so far, Michael?
Perfect.
Any other question or thought? Yes. Go ahead, what was the question?
Yeah, so does the system work with any ADT or home security system that may already be installed?
Does the system work with any ADT or other home security systems? And presently it does not really. It is separate from those. Yes. So the question is, this will not alert you outside of the home to any type of thing that happened in your home at this point in time. So, you have that question? I did not. Go ahead.
I'll speak up. So the answer is yes and no. There is a way to program sound on this device. It's a little technical, but say you have two different phones, and you want to make sure that one phone is triggered and another phone is triggered. You can record a sound on this so that it can distinguish it. So I'm not sure about a fridge opening and it making a sound. It has to have a sound to be recorded on it. So that's the tricky thing. Fire alarms tends to be the number one thing that people want to record sounds to. So because they don't want to replace an existing sound system, they want to put a different device that will record the fire alarm sound. But what you're asking is a little tricky because some things don't make a sound, and that's where it gets a little... And it buzzes. If so, that's a great example. So your dryer buzzes or dings or whatever sound it makes, you could technically record that sound so that it triggers the alert.
But no, an alert that your belt's going out or any of that would be difficult to squeal. No, that would be difficult to work with, to be honest.
Yes.
So very quickly, one of the other receivers that we have is a clock receiver that, as you can see, has a bed shaker with it. And so if any of these transmitters, and this is by your bed, had gone off, then you would see these flashing lights indicating what had gone off in your home, whether it was the doorbell or the baby alert, if it was the fire alarm, or if it was the phone ringing. And it alerts you both by flashing lights, and it's different color lights for the different signals. It also alerts you through the vibration in the bed, if you would. And it also has a sound that goes, a repetitive loud sound that goes up to 100 dB. But more recently, we have added to our program and to our products is a product called Vibio. And what this is a bed shaker, just like what you're used to with your with the clock, but this is independent. You can tell it has a nice surface. You can program it, and it works with, get it pulled up here. And it works with an app. The device works with either Apple or with Android or Google type device. And you pair this with your phone or with this app. And what it allows you to do then is that, there can be up to 10 alarm settings. So you could set it to a morning, you could set it to different pills, you could set it to different medications and that type of thing. Also, what it allows you to do, so when it goes off, it vibrates. It has 3 different levels, and some are very, very strong, again, to wake you up, so it's an alerting device. But what we really also like about it is you have the ability to carry it with you. So if you're traveling, where we see it heavily used, is that you can take it into a hotel, because as you know, hotel phones for people who have a hearing loss, take off your hearing aids or implant or deaf or hard of hearing, then they can struggle with being contacted with the different types of alerts. And so you can set this up to wake you up, and it vibrates. Some people will carry it in their backpack. It also will alert you through the phone as to whether you have a text message or an email. And you have a snooze function on the device, so that it's under your pillow or with you, and you pull the little ribbon that you see coming out of it, and it will then come back on in 5 minutes, and if you pull it hard, it's off after that. Yes? No, it would not alert you to a fire alarm or anything like that. That's been a good question for us from a number of folks. We would require some different type of thing to alert you to that. And then let's see where we are on time. You would? Yes, yes.
Just quickly mention the strap. It's not just decoration.
Oh yeah.
This is snooze, and this is off. So it means you don't have to touch your phone in the morning, and if you're like me, I'm fiddling for my snooze button, and I hit stop by accident. And then I sleep in. That takes care of it. Snooze and off, just to let you know.
So, and for the last 3 minutes that we have here, very quickly, we do have assistive auditory devices, which the VA uses quite heavily with us, actually. And we have two different systems. This is called the Maxi Pro. And the idea behind this is that many of you probably over the years have worked with Pocket Talker. This is different in that it is a digital system, so that it is much clearer sound. I think you would find it easier to use, and the whole device is set up to be touch friendly, so you can tell up and down, and you can control the different frequencies with it. But it also has, which is new for this group, it has the ability to pair it with Bluetooth. So that if you have someone who has a telephone and they're paired with it and they're sitting with this next to them and they get a call, they just push the Bluetooth button and they have the headphones on, and it works as an amplifier for the telephone as well as their immediate environment. We see it used in hospital settings where the professional needs to talk to someone who's come into their office. So if you know someone who's hearing impaired and they're going to visit a professional, you can ask if they have something like this in their office. We also see it used for inpatient, where patients are brought into a facility and they need to be able to hear during their treatment time, and some hospitals are now providing this with that situation. We see it also being used primarily with people who have handicapping conditions that they cannot use hearing aids or they get lost. And this provides a great alternative for them to be able to utilize and to be able to hear, because you control the gain and the volume and the output and all of that. It does have a way to connect with a television with a, it's in my pocket still, sorry, with a device that you plug into the television, and then you can also be listening for the phone and hear the television well with that. And we see it in assisted care facilities for individuals with hearing loss where hearing aids sometimes tend to get lost. We have a smaller version of that also still works with headphones, but it has a directional microphone. It is not Bluetooth compatible, but it still has the up and down, the volume controls and all of that. But if you push a button, it has what's called Zoom technology or multi-mic technology, If I were to put this in the center of the young lady's table here, you'd be hearing all around it. But if I put it in the center and I turned on the zoom, then she would be just focused on the person who is in front of her, and the people and the noise on the side would be diminished for that. So it's a little smaller, a little more petite to use, and is a different functionality that it does not have Bluetooth, but it has some other things that make sound clearer. So I think my time is about finished. Does anybody have a last question? And again, our booth is here, and it's a quick 20 minutes, but I thank you for your time. If anyone else has a question? You have a question? No? Fine. Well, thank you. I appreciate you all being here.